Hello everybody, this is Dead Frank speaking to you, and this is going to be my first video of hopefully a series that I'm going to give to you of a game called Nemesis of the Roman Empire. This game just kind of came out on Steam a few days ago. It's an older game, back in '03 I believe. And you know, I had a lot of fun with this game when I was a little kid, and you know, it was pretty fun having a little nostalgia trip, seeing it on here and giving it a couple plays. But you know, we're gonna get right started. Got my coffee, got my fucking mouse pad. It's noon. I actually have to work in 2 hours, but you know, I figured I'd give this to you for before I get ready and all that shit and maintain my status living in a fucking trailer and just living life. Anywho, a few things about the game. It's RTS, obviously, or at least, you know, it is an RTS. It was definitely different in its time, but a good kind of different. It did have its own little special flair. Small cons to it though. For one, they didn't do anything since it came out on Steam. It isn't set for 720 1080p in the graphics department. Probably can notice it. It's a bit stretched because that's the resolution I'm running on right now. And I don't want to change any of these other resolutions because it's just going to be another grade of don't really give a shit. But anyways, we're going to start a single player match against all hard AI, and it's going to be a free-for-all. We're going to have everything set on normal. The map's going to be large islands, and it's going to be huge. Oh. Hello, Federal. Got the fucking dog with me. He's just being adorable. Nothing's disabled, so we're gonna give it a crack at that. And the game this one has 4 factions. Let's see. There's Celtic Kings. That was the first one that came back in like 2000, 2001 or something. That had Roman Gaul. This one, Nemesis of the Roman Empire, also known as Punic Wars, has 4 factions: Gaul, Rome, and then Iberia, which is like Spain, and Carthage, which is obviously the upper part of Africa. And then there's a game later on, it's got even more factions, but it's not on Steam, so, you know, the fuck. So I set 3 the AI as Iberia, Carthage, and Rome. I'm going to play as the Gauls for the shot. The other ones are going to be random. We got some that are chaotic hard, which are going to be full on attacking, and then a couple defensive hard, which are going to turtle and have big ass forces. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes, right? Yeah, let's get started. I'll explain what I can while I'm getting this going. Pretty much this game is designed to not have any base building. You're not gonna have any workers or civs like that. You will have peasants, which is only for population, which is up here. Because you need population, you spend population to produce troops. I'm gonna create some swordsmen right now and a couple archers. And I'm gonna pump out a hero. Heroes are like your general in a sense. You can have as many as you want. They will actually put your troops into formation, and they'll also get a little bonus for doing such. Right now I want to take my swordsman around and explore anything I can. Do the same thing with my hero. Right now I'm trying to cover as much ground as I can because of stuff like that. I just claimed that It's a neutral building. I see one over here that's unowned right now. It's got a gray highlight around it. Pretty much if you're just within the range of it, it's automatically yours. I just found a village. That's good. Good find. And it's a good way to get a pretty decent start in the match. And unlike certain units, these swordsmen are pretty expendable, so I'm not gonna miss them if they die. Ooh, that's a good find. I found the gold outpost. Pretty much there's a few different outposts and they all do different things. Oh, there's a Teutonic tent. There's some shoreline. Oh, there's another Teutonic tent right there. But yeah, I'm gonna just make these videos about a half hour long. And I'll save it and I'll make it a little serious, see if I can actually dominate. Right now it looks like I got a pretty good amount of land covered, but they will most likely be taken over. Oh, there's another Teutonic tent. So that's 3. This one's in the back, so that's pretty nice.
I need more men.
The good thing about these is they have neutral AI guys that will just spawn try to kill you, but if you can kill them all off, then the Teutonic tent is yours and more Teutons will spawn inside it. And in the end, you'll be totally getting free units, and you can't say no to that. Free shit is always good shit.
If you say so. You command.
Alright, that's some decent ground covered for the most part. Oh, look at that, there's a stronghold, and it is Roman.
My blade is...
By the way, this game doesn't have a mini-map, obviously, as you can tell. You gotta press space, or press this little symbol right here to pull up the main map. It's actually kind of nice.
If you say so.
I mean,
Sharp sword.
I know there are some people who could play RTSs like Koreans and just pop out that fucking actions per minute like it's no tomorrow, but having this map does make it pretty helpful to check
You command.
every bit.
If you say so. Sharp.
Oh, that's a village owned by another faction. Alright, but let's see, let's explain a few extra things. So this game has 2 different resources. There's gold and food. Gold is obviously the only resource for spending, but food is the resource for any type of, you know, keeping your soldiers from dying of starvation. Tasty coffee. Anyways, yeah. So you always need food in order to keep your troops from just losing health. They'll start plummeting when they start starving. And every troop has its own food gauge right here. They can hold up to 20 units of food, but if they're not by any source of food, like this village, they'll start slowly counting down. Once it hits 0, boom, they'll start starving. This game also has certain trade routes that you can set up. If you see these dotted lines, they're pretty much where I'm sending resources. Like, I got these 2 villages sending food to this trade post actually, because this little outpost is converting my food into gold. And I also have one here. This is turning my gold and just increasing the numbers. You can hear that? I don't know if you can, but that's my dog running around. He's being silly. Hey, Bumpus. What you doing? Oh, he just jumped onto the chair because he's just, oh, you're just so cute. You know, you're one of the best things in my life, little buddy. You know, got the fucking job that I hate. I'm married, and that's actually very awesome. I'm not against that. I'm actually quite happy with that. But you're also up there. Oh, yes. Alright, back to the game. So we have villages that will produce food. You set up a trade route to send the food to your village or your main town that doesn't produce food unless you're the Gaul faction. Some of the other factions will have you can buy food for gold. The Gauls actually have a town upgrade right here called a food tax, which you'll just gain food and attacks.
I know these lands. Follow my lead.
And it's pretty nice. Right now I'm a little short on gold. I could surely I'm going to take out a loan. Probably not a good idea. Pretty much it's not a town upgrade, but it's a current quick money thing. It will instantly give you 4,000 gold in a loan. So now I have a debt that needs to be paid. And until it gets paid, I'm pretty much not collecting any gold. Because it takes 4,000 gold at a 10% interest. Oh, that is some fucking good coffee. Let's see. I am going to collect a few more spearmen. Attach them to my General Maraxis. Then I'm gonna punk that Teutonic tent. Because right now I'm not getting attacked right now, so that's nice. Can take advantage of this little peacetime, whatever's going on. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna set one of my villages to send food to this fort, and I'm also gonna bring peasants to that fort. Pretty much what this outpost does is it will turn your peasants into macemen. Like every 20 seconds, one turns into a maceman.
Ready to fight.
Alright. And some things that are really nice about this game. One, the animation is crisp. At least for its time. I just enjoy the clashes that happen in this. It looks really nice. They have this like little setup. They set it up where there's no like stop for a collision within the units, but they won't attack if they're overlapping another unit. Which so they kind of run past each other a little bit and then they'll start the attacking, and it does look really nice. The only time that doesn't happen is when the troop is not moving at all, which is like if you just have your troops still, like formation blocking, then enemy troops can't really bypass that if they're trying to attack you. Alright, had a couple losses, but I definitely got that toot and tent. Oh, it's fucking awesome. Yeah. We're gonna just pump out more spearmen because they're gonna be the backbone of my force. They're relatively decent. Let's see. We'll talk about a few other things while we're still in the slow period. The stats for the troops are kind of the typical RTS stats in relevance to Age of Empires, kind of. They have a slash attack or a pierce attack, slash defense or pierce defense. But there's a minimum and maximum. Like if I click on the swordsman, he has a slash attack and it can do the max of 16 damage and the minimum of 6. Which is going to determine via the level of the troop he's fighting and the slash defense. The slower thing, this is the slash defense, the first number, and the pierce defense is the second number. And that one's kind of self-explanatory. Normally, troops with high pierce defense is good, are better at defending from pierce attacks such as arrows or spears,
A spear will never fail you.
and so on. Like the spearman has a low slash defense but a pretty high pierce defense, and a higher pierce attack and a fairly decent minimal pierce attack. And I'm still not getting attacked. It's actually a first. I actually gave this a couple plays with the same settings and I just got fucking rolled every time. It was sad.
Ready to shoot. My blade is
Let's go south for this other Teutonic tint. Oh, there's a little port right there. I have no need for that right now though. The large islands map is pretty much going to be maybe bulky islands like this that might have a few factions. There might be one faction lucky enough to have his own island and all the fucking resources he can think of. Oh, that lucky dog. I'm in a fairly decent spot since I'm kind of cornered here. It's just one end I don't have to worry about, but there are all these caves. Pretty much troops can go in a cave somewhere else on the map and they'll fucking show up here. And the AI will actually utilize caves and it becomes a pain in the ass. Let's upgrade this for some faster troopage. Oh, look at that. That trade post just has got the gold, baby. Alright, we are taking this other Teuton tent. We'll actually do pretty good right now with this one, with the spearmen I have. But look at those Teutons, they just have decent stats. Just 10 and 10, not as much in the defense, but the attack is just it's beautiful. The Teuton archers just have killer range and lots of health. And for an archer unit, it's the only horse archer that this game has, which is a big plus. So you can actually do that harass. Alright, now I have more gold than my actual debt, so I can actually repay that loan. Let's see, we are close to taking these Teutons out. I'm gonna pump out a couple extra swordsmen. My trade post is getting a decent supply of food, and it's turned that into gold. It's just, oh, it's marvelous. Let's see my little fort with the peasants.
Where do you want me?
See, these are some of the macemen I just pulled out.
That.
Which they're fairly heavy unit. They're from the Carthage faction, but they got the 34 attack, which is pretty high. Bleeding attack, which is a special. Certain units have specials. I can actually explain that. And they're just certain special abilities. Like a main one is the spearmen have something called defense stance, which pretty much will eliminate the first attack done on it. Which means a horseman normally has a charge special ability. His first attack does devastating amount of damage, but it would be canceled out by the spearman's defensive stand, which is, you know, a big bonus for repelling a charge. Alright, so I got 2 Teutonic tents, I got fucking 5 villages, and a couple outposts. We are just balling today. This is a solid start. I was expecting getting raided, but I'm pretty sure the AI might be a little preoccupied with other forms of AI. But I'm going to take advantage of this. This might be the run to do it. It's going to take a few episodes, but I'm going to keep them separated within a half hour. I might do them every morning. It's going to be really random when I do these because, you know, I just don't give a shit. I'll get home from work and I'll just want to fucking play video games all day, and then Let's take another loan out. Or, you know, I decided to give it a shot this morning because I was taking cracks at it last night and shit just was not working out for me. In fact, I had a decent recording going through and everything was going fine. I was actually doing, oh look, I'm getting attacked finally. Pretty much I was actually doing decent, and then the shit crashed on me. It's unbelievable.
I need more men.
Let's see.
If you say so.
We're gonna throw the swordsman on and we're gonna
You
give him
command.
those macemen.
I lead armies.
I don't need to travel too far against this, but I do want to be within the vicinity. I don't care for losing that outpost as much. But that was Liberatus troops. They can't be commanded by an officer. Those are a Roman troop from the arena. Each faction has like a special unit. The Gauls get Viking Lords, which are just mega uber tanks that have something called a vampiric blow, which every attack will give him some health back, and they can tank so hard that they can just wail through an entire army sometimes if it's just swordsmen and they're high enough level. It's just awesome. But I got my troops in the outpost that's being supplied food. I don't want to lose these villages or this outpost. I might just take the outpost back depending, because that's what I want. We can give a couple troop upgrades. Now all my troops coming in have the boar teeth amulet already, and now they're going to get the belt, which will give them +4 in slashing and piercing defense. Oh man, that coffee is fucking delicious. I gotta say, I don't normally drink coffee all the time, but today just felt like a good day. I slept pretty decent, and I'm just like, you know what, I think I'm gonna do a video. But before I do that, I'm going to get some fucking coffee. I am not looking forward to going to work today. I know a lot of people say that, but goddamn, it is just a pain in the ass.
What do you want?
That was my phone going off. Probably should have put that on silent. Let's take a looky-loo what that was. Oh, that was the wife's texting me. I'm going to go grocery shopping. Alright. Well, you know what? Actually, we're getting close to the end of the half hour, or close to it. It's not going to be, you know, it's going to be kind of around the vicinity, but I can give a decent review for this. How much time do I got? I have about, I'm going to say about 6 minutes left. And, you know, I can give a good wrap up and explain some awesome things about this game. Now, this game was developed by, I guess you would call them an indie team. I mean, I think Hammer Mountain Games published it. They made Grand Ages Rome. That's a pretty bigger name. Or pretty bigger. Oh, my fucking grammar. Calypso or something. It is definitely an indie game, and it's not bad. You know, the design for it is just, it was fucking boss in its time. You know, you got this fluid animation and it looks almost three-dimensional. And I don't know if people are too nitpicky about this, but I enjoy it. Normally when they use sprite animation, they just flip the image, but this one they don't. You see how the shield's in the front ground, and now the shield's in the background. You know, that's just a small, nice little detail. And it is nice to have. There are some funny cons about it. For one, you can't do base building. For people who are avid in any base building, I wouldn't say don't let that deter you from this, but it is one thing you're not going to have. You can't destroy buildings, you can only capture. Everything is... This is a random map, so it just kind of plops everything. Some things don't look really natural in the placement. But it's not too bad for just the countless normal maps. Oh, look at that. Oh, yes, we got the Teutons, baby. Oh yeah, we are sending them back home. They will make a nice force. And, you know, there are some things that are really funny, especially with the Carthage faction and the Iberian faction, the voice acting. Like, you know, some of them are kind of silly. It's like, it's an indie game. But there are just some that are just fucking hilarious for being god-awful. There is one that I'm aware of. It's from the Iberians and the Sir Horseman. It's like the fucking guy. They didn't want to pay anyone to do any of the voices. And they didn't have anyone with skill. And it was just... It's just the funniest thing where... What, they didn't want to, you know, keep trying until they... succeeded, or maybe they didn't bother wanting to just replay it. They were just like, fuck yeah, that's good. And it's just funny. It's like a dude trying to yell but has to be quiet because someone's sleeping next door or some shit going on, you know. It is funny. Some of the voice acting, it just butchers the any culture value that the faction should have. You know, the Carthage, since it's mostly Africa, you think the voice acting be more tailored to that more African style voice, and it's not too bad. But the heroes sound like a fucking white dude pretending to be a superhero and just reading the lines right on paper for the first time. Anyways, enough about that. That's just a silly con. It doesn't deter me from the game. Let's see, what's some nice things about this? There is no unit cap. You can actually have the biggest force you can possibly maintain, depending on whether or not you have food. I got quite a few troops in my town hall right now, so that's why my food's kind of dropping like that. But I have a food tax and a decent food supply, so I'm not too worried about that. See, that food is dropping a little less because I just have only that many troops there. Attack that, and we are going to save Dead Frank. Big map. Fuck you. Alright. And we are going to conclude this episode. Hopefully I got anything I could explain. Oh, actually, another thing I completely forgot to explain is there is a single player campaign, which in this game it is full on solid. You know, it's a good campaign. There isn't much to it. It has a map editor, which is actually done in C++, so you can make some pretty custom maps, at least in the scripting. Oh, Wumpus, what are you doing? He was sitting behind me the whole time, like literally against my back on the fucking chair, because I'm sitting in a recliner because I'm awesome and poor. You know, can't afford a computer chair, right? But this is a cozy ass chair, so, you know, it's like a throne. But the campaign in this game is legit. The campaign in the first game was actually very fun, and it continued on from one main story that was pretty heavy in the RPG elements. This does have multiplayer, but Steam is not supporting it, but you can still actually utilize the multiplayer with like port forwarding. And Let's see, I can actually quick show you that thing I was talking about with the fucking Iberia. Where are you? I just popped in the map editor for a second. We want cavalry. Yeah, watch this. The way they sound just...
Guard! Without delay! Guard! Right away! Without delay! Flying through the air! Guards! Flying through the air! Right away! Flying through the air! Right away!
I mean, if he was gonna do that, he might as well just make it sound a little more subtle. You know, they could sound like professional killers. That's not bad, but... Oh man, I remember the first time hearing that as a kid, and I damn near fucking laughed off my seat because, you know, when you're a kid, you find stupid shit like that funny. Wumpus a little riled up right now. Should actually take him out for a walk. Oh, it's gonna be a busy day today. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. This will be the first of a few, at least for this series. Hopefully I will become the Grandmaster of taking over things. Oh, and another thing I'll explain in NOTRE Pro. Man, I'm all over the fucking place. I didn't write anything down, so I don't know what I'm doing. One thing that's nice is all the cities are like independent from like you as the commander, so there's no like one pool of gold or one pool of food. You have, if you have two, oh, you jumped up, oh, Wumpus. So if you have two cities, they'll actually have their own separate gold and food values. So you can actually just use one city to just completely supply another one. Or if you can keep them both intact, and you can just pump out units from both sides. And if you have the city from a different faction, you can pump the units of that faction, which is nice. So you can have all four different kinds that just had this fucking huge ass, you know, bulldozing truckload, fuck you, jack of all trades, every angle fucking covered train of just an army. But anyways, you know, that's it for me. Hope you guys have a terrific day. It's a fucking Tuesday afternoon. You know, that's not really all I can say. It's Tuesday. What can you expect? Have a good day, everybody.